A year ago, I made two videos about a docu-series called Everything's Gonna Be All White, and I had a lot of problems with that docu-series. Mainly that it made me hate being black, because constantly having to wake up in the years of 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022, and hearing a bunch of people who share my skin color talk about how everything being black is depressing, you're always gonna be a victim, you're always gonna be under the white man's boot. It was really depressing constantly having to hear that on a routine basis from individuals who are richer than me, have luxury in their life, and live a more lavish lifestyle than I do. And it was demoralizing having to constantly hear that. And now, a year later, I can tell you with all certainty that I am the sexiest black YouTuber, and there is no one better looking than I am. But it was weird, and even I said it in private and in public, that a docu-series like that does nothing for the world. It doesn't inspire people. It doesn't make people feel better. It doesn't even get people to understand that maybe they're the problem and let's all solve the issue. It just makes more people hate each other. And shockingly, a year later, that's what happened. A lot of people are not together, and they're even more separated. And a stupid-ass docu-series where it's just a bunch of fluff was not going to get people to inspire themselves to hate the white man and their evil white supremacy. And we didn't hear much about that docu-series anymore. We didn't hear much from any of the people who made it, because once you make some garbage shit, you don't really become relevant anymore. You just become a side character who pops up at random when you want to try to be relevant in the algorithm that is the hellhole known as Twitter. But it seems as if the idea of spouting nonsense about black people and what they do and how they make money has come back around with the help of ESPN of all places, because there's this series or documentary that they're making that has a bunch of people, one of which is not a credible source for the black power and is currently facing some legal issues in regards to money. And there's this clip going around of a bunch of people sitting at a table or a booth, and they're talking, and one of the individuals there says something really fucking stupid.
It's almost like the contracts, are the new slave chains, right? So, you have to sign this contract and sign this document and sign this document. It's like you're binded to this. And then if you break that, that's your livelihood, that's your life. So we the new slaves. Athletes are literally the new slaves because we need this. Our families, our friends depend on this contract to eat. Yeah.
You expect me to believe that grown adults, grown black athletes who have worked their asses off from regular park ball to elementary school to middle school to high school to college have now reached the pinnacle of their dreams to where they could make generational wealth type of money to feed themselves, feed their families, feed their families. You want me to believe that I'm supposed to feel bad for them because in your mind it's akin to slavery. It didn't work when the wannabe activist did it. It's not gonna work with a bunch of you trying to galvanize his same talking points. Now, it is odd how you want me to feel bad for you for having a fucking job. It's a job. You sign a contract. I'm pretty sure you get a lot more lucrative money than someone who is black that works at a fucking McDonald's. You for damn sure make more money than me on YouTube, even though I make a pretty penny. It does not compare to the generational wealth that you are getting when you're standing on a court, running on a football field, or swinging a fucking bat, or kicking a fucking ball into a goal, hoping that everybody cheers your name if you don't fuck up. It is odd how you want me to actually consider that you busting your ass and working hard for yourself and your family and your dreams and your goals is somehow negative because you're black and you live in white America, and so you gotta believe it has something to do with slavery. No, you fucking idiots. That's not how that works. And any bozo who's buying that shit is just as delusional as you because they have less money than you, listening to you and thinking, oh my God, I've had all these dreams. I watched Michael Jordan growing up. I watched Derrick Rose growing up. I watched LeBron James growing up. I want to be just like them. I want to be a basketball player. I want to be a football star. I want to be in baseball. But, oh my God, I don't want to be a slave to anybody. Do you understand? Listening to somebody talk about a contract, something that they have to sign on the dotted line for in order to make that money, is absolutely fucking mind-boggling when I hear that person say that that is a contract of slavery. That is something bad. No, That's your fucking job. And you're right. If you don't fulfill that requirement, you get cut. You get traded. Why? Because you're affecting the team's goal of winning, you fucking moron. It is a sport. You are there to win so that you could go to the playoffs, and then you could go to the championship, and then you win that championship. Why? Because the goal of you being on a sports team, whether it be in the WNBA, female soccer, men's soccer, the swim team, basketball, is to win a championship, not to sit there, clock in and clock out. Because guess what? You can go from team to team and be a team hopper like Jamal Crawford. But guess what? If you're not winning a championship, ultimately you might just be a waste of space, and they're going to cut your ass to the point where you are irrelevant. And then maybe you could lie and everybody could spread all this bullshit about how you got kicked off the team because you put your knee on the ground and you were just trying to speak up for black people, when in reality, you just fucking sucked and you were a waste of fucking space on a roster. It's embarrassing being black, knowing that there are black people saying things like that, and also knowing that there are black people listening to that and saying, I absolutely agree, because it's also weird to know that these people are advocating for that on a network like ESPN that has many individuals of color who work there that are prominent figures on TV, who also talk about sports that are, with the exception, I believe, one, dominated by black people. It's a little bit odd how y'all want me to actually think, yeah, you are all poor slaves in this world, and I feel bad for you. Let me rub you on the ass and make sure you know that you're not just a slave. You're a strong, independent black man or woman. No, and I wish this type of propaganda would stop. There are many people who look me in the face and get mad at the several videos I've done, and they like to use the word grifter at me. The problem is, I'm not really saying anything that I don't believe. I'm saying a lot that I do believe. I'm saying a lot that has to do with common sense. You want me to believe that contracted employees who are making generational money are slaves? You're gonna have to pick which one's the actual grifter, and I'm going to believe it's the ones on national TV spouting bullshit like that. But if you're someone who just so happens to disagree, tell me why in the comment section down below so that I can respond with 2 words: fuck you, because that shit will never make any lick of sense no matter how much you try to convince the poor common folk. And if I could wrap this up any possible way, it's the way that I've been doing it recently, as of a bright idea that came to me after constantly talking about individuals who lie and propagate bullshit and somehow get money out of gullible human beings. And that's to say that if you want to give your money to anybody, give it to me so that I could use your money to buy the BLM mobile. That way I could drive around and spread the good word, not of Black Lives Mattering, but bringing Leon money, because that's all BLM stands for nowadays, when all these other motherfuckers who parade around dead bodies scammed y'all out of y'all money. Subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.